What's going on, you guys? Slim finally back here with a new video, a deck profile of one of my signature decks, pure MEKK-KNIGHTs. You guys already know. Shout out to my brother Johnny. This was actually the list we played at YCS Niagara. Those of you that were there, shout out to you that came up to us. Those of you that were supporting us. As far as I know, we were probably the only MEKK-KNIGHT players in the whole room. We're crazy. We chose a rogue strategy. The main reason I played MEKK-KNIGHT, a lot of people know I also have played Flu Underies in the past. I actually played Flu for Nationals. I got destroyed, and Johnny was like, yeah, you got to play Mechs this time. I agreed to it. I said I would, and we did. I was actually pretty happy with our list for the most part. There's definitely some changes I would make, and I'll go over those today in the deck profile. I wasn't actually going to profile this because I honestly thought we'd have a ban list, so things would change up, but as you guys know, it still hasn't appeared, and I'm pretty sure the time this video is up, there's still no list. If there is, then man, I don't know where stuff happened. But anyways, I'll show you guys the list. Just so you guys know what to do. Subscribe, smash that like button. Appreciate you guys. Shout out to the MEKK-KNIGHT players of the world. This deck's amazing. I just love everything about it. Coolest thing though, I was a YCS Niagara Bounty Duelist. You guys already know. You guys saw the vlog. Peep the vlog. I'll put a link up here if you guys want to see it. It was just awesome being a bounty. I haven't been a bounty in like 10 years. So yeah, got some cool packs out of it. And shout out to all my opponents. All 8 rounds, you guys are amazing. Like, I didn't have a single bad opponent. Everyone was awesome. So I had a great YCS experience. Just wish I could have done better. But again, I did pick a rogue deck, and there's definitely some things that I liked a lot about this deck, some things I would change. But anyways, I'll get into it and explain stuff for anyone that's wondering. Those of you that play MEKK-KNIGHTs, if you have any suggestions about combating, the format, let me know in the comment section below. The thing is, again, we will probably have a ban list before, the next profile of this deck, and things will change. But hopefully we get a ban list sooner than later. But yeah, anyways, waste enough time. Let's get into it. We'll start with the standard stuff. The MEKK-KNIGHT engine, of course, triple gear suit, triple purple, and triple blue. This is just standard. These 9 are your main MEKK-KNIGHTs. That's just, it is what it is. Like, literally, gear suit just does everything. You just normal gear suit and you're good to go. Purple is your wind up rabbit, comes back all the time, and blue for 2, blue for 3, you're just gonna win the game. Like, it's absolutely crazy. One thing I'll say about this deck is even in 2022, players do not play around columns, so this was actually crazy. Like, I just blued for 2 a lot, and yeah, you just get a lot of advantage, so it's fantastic. That's just standard. You're always gonna max out on these in every list that you do. The one-ofs, just 1 indigo, 1 red, 1 yellow, 1 green, all the Power Rangers. Shout out to my boy Shannon, he always calls them the Power Rangers. You guys already know. This is Shifty Boy, just moves zones for any MEKK-KNIGHT. That comes in handy a lot for a lot of negates. This just pops face-up monsters. This pops back row in the same column, and this, when it attacks monster in the same column, you can recur a MEKK-KNIGHT from the grave to your hand. This is actually decent in the grind game. It literally is like a Cyber Dragon. Like, its stats are basically Cyber Dragon stats, but it does come up every once in a while. It's just an extra name as well. So I was happy that we played it. It actually came up one game where I actually did recur a purple that I had discarded from Morningstar and then was able to use it again, so just for more advantage. So this was fine. I actually think green was not terrible. I've never really been a fan of green, but green was actually fine and a very easy side out option with the deck. And last but not least, the chalice. Shout out to the chalice for just always drawing the chalice. Unfortunately, like, drawing this like really sucks. Like, you have to kind of reverse your combo, and you have to make Morningstar first and then discard this in order to get it engraved, and then you have to kind of loop back to lib, so it can get a little weird. But yeah, chalice is insane. Like, literally, when it works, it works. So you just hope not to draw it. But that's literally all the monsters. We played no hand traps. I'll explain that when we get to the rest of the cards. But the rest of the MEKK-KNIGHT core, of course, triple legacy memory. That's literally your teleport. Just get your guys out. Usually you're getting purple out, literally banishing it at end phase and then searching again. Then you got 2 purples in rotation, and it's just so much advantage. Like, your opponent just falls behind really quickly. 1 copy of World Legacy Succession. That's our monster reborn. 1 copy of World Legacy Key. That's our trap negator for MEKK-KNIGHTs in the same column. This card was actually crazy. I actually, with Shifty Boy, was able to negate a total of like 3 traps, like literally moving indigo into 2 spots, and then they activated a card, and then I was able to use this in conjunction with that and get out of purple, and I just now negated a bunch of traps. So this was actually crazy. This card's actually insane. It's also really good for recurring your chalice when you banish it, because you banish it and then you can actually use this to add it back to your hand and use it as discard fodder again. So this card, I think Key is just insane. I think Key is like a staple pretty much all the time in the deck. That's it for the spells. And then for the traps, I did play 3 copies of the Secret and 1 copy of the Whispers. So Legacy, World Legacy secret is our skill drain. You guys already know it. Also reborns at level 5 or higher. We were sighting Scythe, so being able to loop Scythe with this was absolutely broken. Johnny sold me on that. Everyone basically sold me on that. That was like why this card was so insane. Usually you're reviving your MEKK-KNIGHTs to do more negations and stuff, and this being a skill drain is just nuts. Yeah, and I'm glad we played 3 because I never really had to search it if I hard opened it, so it was really good. It was good in the grind game too because it keeps you alive just reviving more monsters, so that was really good. And then Whispers to protect our spells. That was really like the main focal point, is that going second, you know, we're not an OTK deck. We're just trying to break the opponent's board, out resource them, and then they'll try to mount a comeback, and we'll literally sit there with secrets, whispers, and key, and literally that's negating monsters, spells, and traps. So it's pretty crazy. It's a control deck, and yeah, it was awesome. So I have no regrets playing that. That's the whole MEKK-KNIGHT core. Basically played everything. And yeah, I wouldn't change anything on that. That was perfectly fine. Now on to our spells that help this deck go. Obviously, we're a blind second deck, but Prosperity is there for consistency. You guys already know. Yo, shout out to Master Duel. How could you guys literally hit my Prosperity to 1s? You know how hard it is to play this card? How hard it is to play this deck in Master Duel? Like, we're still working on some goo for it. Yo, shout out to Pack and the goo cast. But literally, like, with 1 Prosperity in Master Duel, it's hard. If this card actually gets hit in the TCG, it's gonna be hard. This is literally the best pot card for this deck. You literally just get to what you need to. It helps you see Gearsu a lot more consistently, so hopefully they don't hit it in TCG. But going second, we had a lot of going second cards. We had triple Dark Ruler, triple Mystic Mind, triple Super Poly. I'll talk about these 9 first. So Dark Ruler doesn't need any introduction. This was great against Sprite. I actually played against Sprite round 1. This card was insane. Game 3 literally opened it and just did that with Gearsu, and it was full combo, so it was crazy. Dark Ruler is just insane. It's a necessary evil along with Mystic Mind. Now, a lot of people are thinking, did you do degenerate things with Mystic Mind? Surprisingly, no. This is not a deck out card for this deck. Similar to Floowandereeze, this card, I hate this card. Like, I do. I'm not a fan of this card. I definitely want it gone. I think that, you know, it's not great for the game, but it is a necessary evil in some situations. One cool thing though, when the opponent has 2 to 3 monsters, or even just 2 monsters, Mind plus Gearsu full combo, being able to give them a token, give them 3 monsters, you can full combo with just 2 monsters. So you literally just play Undermine, and it's actually crazy. You're not even trying to deck them out. You literally just play Undermine to where you just out advantage them, and then with one of the extra deck cards we have, we can even spin away our own mind. So playing Undermine is crazy. The deck out thing never came up. This was just here to just be able to just go second, activate this, and then play through their stuff. So ridiculous card, but it was actually pretty good. And then unfortunately, I wish I could say this card was amazing. This was the worst card in the deck. My gosh, it was awful. In theory, we thought this was insane. We could use this against Sprite. We could use this against a lot of decks. I played against 4 tier elements, and this card was dead in every single game. This card was just honestly awful. The good tier element players, they summon the fusion that you can't fusion summon with. I wanted this to be good. I really did. I thought we dedicated 2 spots in our extra deck to playing this card, to facilitating this card going second. Unfortunately, it just wasn't good. I played against, I believe in the 8 rounds, I played against 4 tier elements, 1 Despia, 2 Sprite, and there was one other deck. And Rika Sun Avalon. And yeah, this just fortunately underperformed. I'm definitely taking this out. I did not like this. This is what I really want to talk about in the profile. I would definitely cut this for Godar. Oh, and I played Floowandereeze. That's what I lost to. Never mind. I actually did Super Poly the Floowandereeze player, but I had to Dark Ruler Super Poly them, and they actually played a second Bearer statue, so shout out to them. That was the way to go, and they literally just relocked me. But this was just, it really underperformed. I would have played, like, probably for sure some Kaijus or some extra going second cards. This was just not that great. Discarding a card is not that good, but we have so much advantage with blue that it was fine. But again, I think there's just a better card to play, and maybe this should have been put in the side deck. We originally had it in the side deck, moved it to the main deck, thought it would be a good meta call, and unfortunately it just underperformed. But had to try it out, wanted to let you guys know. Unfortunately, Super Poly was just not good, so definitely make a change there, and definitely put maybe even Nibiru. We sided Nibiru. I kind of wanted Nibiru in the main. Nibiru against all the 4 tier elements I played, they all played in the 5 summons, would have been crazy. So yeah, I don't know. This was just unfortunately it underperformed. And then we rounded out the deck with 2 talents, 2 copies of Lightning Storm, and the 1 copy of Harpy's Feather Duster. These were all fine. I did miss the 3rd Lightning Storm a lot. I like Lightning Storm for hitting the back row and baiting the gates, so that might be a change with the Super Polys coming out. Maybe playing a 3rd copy of Storm, maybe a 3rd Talents. Talents was alright. Like, I know there wasn't like a ton of hand traps in the format, but something would usually trigger, and then we could usually hit something out of our opponent's hand or take a monster and start doing things. I even thought about playing maybe Mind Control, Change of Heart, like all those cards. Definitely something I would want to test. And again, with the format changing, we don't really know what'll happen, but this was fine as far as the main deck went. But that's a clean 40. Get to the extra deck. Before we do, shout out to being a bounty duelist. Shout out to Crush Cards being a bounty duelist with me. It was awesome. You play the deck, you got to play the World Legacy token. Shout out to my opponent who had this too. You're the homie, man, for having one of these as well. So when I gave him a Gearsy token, he had his own. Like, yeah, that was actually really cool. And then shout out to my brother Johnny. I already know. Blue for 2. We're always bluing for 2. So, yep. And then extra deck, lastly, pretty standard stuff. 2 copies of Morningstar, 3 copies of Lib, 1 Spectrum Supreme, and 1 Crusadia Avermax. This is all pretty standard. 2 Morningstars become pretty staple and standard back from like not playing 3. Like, we're not like solely relying on that card. I feel Lib is the best card in the deck. It's literally like not even close. This is literally a MEKK-KNIGHT card. This card is crazy. Being able to just, you know, non-targeting spin is just nuts. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. It's just nuts. Spectrum Supreme is crazy. So the one degenerate thing you can do is you can Mystic Mind Lock your opponent and then hit them directly with Spectrum Supreme. They don't read the card, so pretty crazy. Morningstar is always an MVP though, because people don't read it and literally they can't get past it because they don't read how the columns work. So yeah, I'm gonna give you guys homework. Read the card, you'll understand what I mean. It's actually crazy. And then Avermax is nuts. Like, this card is just crazy. Just a lot of decks can't answer this, so this card is actually pretty good. And then yeah, like I said, Spectrum Supreme be coming up a lot. I actually summoned that card a lot more this tournament than I have in a really long time. But yeah, Spectrum Supreme was actually one of the MVPs for sure. But that's all the standard like MEKK-KNIGHT stuff. Of course, we still played the Galatea, the Ding, and the Zeus. This will come up. Just Gearsu alone can make it happen. Ding is actually crazy. Like, we also cited Waking the Dragon, and Ding was actually nuts. Like, being able to just, if they hit Waking the Dragon, bring out a Ding from the extra deck, and then just hit randomly hit a card is like nuts. Like, that comes up randomly, and I'm telling you, it's crazy. Plus, you have purple and indigo, and it's 2/8, so pretty easy to make, to be honest. So, big fan of that. Like, that was actually good. And then Zeus, of course, because you just put it on top at the end. So, standard stuff. We did play Beat Cop, so shout out to Joshua Schmidt. Definitely check out his YouTube channel. Easily one of the best channels right now for competitive content. Like, he's just killing it. Like, he was the one that came up with the Beat Cop Mystic Mind thing, where you literally put a counter on Mystic Mind and then they have to out it twice. This was a strategy against tier elements. Obviously, like, he did it. You know, they do have copies of Cyclone and stuff like that. Whether they have extra outs is neither here nor there. Beat Cop, unfortunately, just didn't come up. I didn't have to mind lock people, which is a good thing. I shouldn't even complain. It was just something that Johnny and I talked about, and we were, you know what, let's flip a card out and let's just play this. So yeah, it was fine. In theory, it just didn't come up, but it was there just as a extra, you know, extra insurance policy to protect Mystic Mind if that was a strategy we had to go with. But again, we didn't have to, because the deck kind of just did what it needed to do, or it just died under the ferocity of tier elements and stuff like that. But yeah, shout out to Beat Cop. That was just a cool interaction. One Secure Gardener, this you can literally just put over Lib, and this is how you play around your own Mystic Minds. You activate the Mystic Mind, you literally make the Lib, you literally put the Secure Gardener on top, and you use the Lib Engrave effect to just spin back Secure Gardener, and then literally your opponent's locked under Mind. So that was a cool thing. There's also just a good way with Lib to activate without having to do anything. So this was cool, and then it chump blocks. So pretty cool. I'd definitely probably still play it going forward. 1 Link Spider, because this deck does get Nibiru'd a lot, and you just want to keep playing. You just turn the token into this, and literally just keep doing things with columns. So that just comes up. That's just standard. You have to respect the Nibiru. I think it's extremely high impact, this format, so just having this, if we get nibbed, is just pretty standard. And then I played the 2 Super Poly targets, Mud Dragon and Garura. Both insane, both very good cards in theory. Unfortunately, just Super Poly underperformed for me, but we dedicated the 2 spots. You can see we didn't play Access Code Talker, we didn't play IP. Did those cards come up? In the 8 rounds I played, honestly, I don't think so. I probably would go back and play them though, obviously, you know, if I cut the Super Poly or if I put Super Poly in the side deck, but I wish I could say that these were insane. They weren't that great. Obviously, because Super Poly wasn't that great, but these are definitely the targets that the deck would play. So just food for thought as far as the deck goes going forward. But that's the deck, you guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Shout out to all the MEKK-KNIGHT players. Shout out to the MEKK-KNIGHT Discord. Shout out to the MEKK-KNIGHT Facebook group. My boy Shannon, my boy Larry, all the MEKK-KNIGHT players, all the people that, you know, vibe with us for playing MEKK-KNIGHTs. I don't know if I will play this exact deck again at another event. Neither here nor there, but definitely a deck that I will always revisit, and something that I always try to do wonders with, because I really do like the deck, and hopefully you guys do too. But hopefully you guys enjoyed. Be sure to smash that like button if you did. Let me know your thoughts on MEKK-KNIGHT's current format, and hopefully after this video, the next video will be a banlist reaction, because we definitely need that. But yeah, shout out to you guys for being awesome. See you guys in the next video. Thank you for watching.
Thank you all for watching the video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and a special thanks to all my patrons. It's because of you, after all these years, I'm still able to make this type of content. Hopefully you guys will check out some of the videos that are suggested here for you, and just remember, you guys, it's not just a game, it's a lifestyle. Thanks for watching.